What's up mga kuya? Welcome back to the channel. So the Xiaomi Redmi Note 10 Pro has ruined me for pretty much every other smartphone in the market right now. And I guess also with my future smartphone reviews, mainly budget smartphones. So I was actually planning on buying some budget smartphones this year for reviews. This freaking gorgeous display has ruined me for all those. But before we proceed with that, I just wanted to give you guys an update on how this room looks right now. Like, it's significantly better and not messy. Well, a bit messy, but so if you remember, there used to be a bed here which I've recently switched to a couch. Shoutout nga pala sa daddy ko. Thanks for helping me with that. So I have more space for recording, and for example, I just want to lay back and rest, then yeah, I can just lay there. And also recently I bought another softbox light for additional lighting, so in the event that I want or I need to record at night, then it won't be a problem for the most part. And at least now I have more room to move around, and this softbox light actually used to be on top of the bed. Like, that's how much space, or that's how much cramp it is in here. So how has the Xiaomi Redmi Note 10 Pro ruined me for pretty much every other smartphone, and why this might be bad news for a lot of us consumers? So I apologize if video quality is worse now to be able to shoot at a higher FPS. But yeah, basically to my right is the Xiaomi Redmi Note 10 Pro, and on my left is the Poco M3. So currently the Xiaomi Redmi Note 10 Pro is set at the 120Hz setting refresh rate, and as you can see, it's just buttery smooth for the most part. And to my left is the Poco M3, and just going back to 60Hz, it's just so much worse. Like, the phone actually feels laggy, even though when I reviewed this, of course, I made a review of this and named it the best budget smartphone of 2020. It's not slow by any means, the Poco M3, but just having that high refresh 120Hz refresh rate, it's just significantly better and really hard to go back to 60Hz, which is kind of ironic here since I've been saving up for a while for a higher refresh rate monitor, specifically a 144Hz monitor, and the fact that I own a high refresh rate display first on a smartphone rather than something that I actually use all day, which is a monitor, is just nuts, and why this may be bad news for us consumers. And actually, before we proceed as to why that's bad for us consumers moving forward, at least moving forward, as you know, for the past year, I've been reviewing phones like these, the Poco M3, which are budget phones under $200. And as you know, the Xiaomi Redmi Note 10 Pro will be released at around a starting price of 14,000 to 15,000 Philippine pesos. And the display on the Note 10 Pro has just spoiled me. Like, it's really hard. Like, I can't really go back to 60Hz after using this at 120Hz. But yeah, hopefully I'll still be able to do good smartphone reviews on 60Hz phones. And I guess focusing now more on the Xiaomi Redmi Note 10 Pro and what this might mean in future budget or mid-range smartphones. So the Redmi Note series lineup of Xiaomi has been creeping up in prices, as I mentioned in my full review of this, which you can watch right here. So yeah, it's been slowly creeping up in prices for the past few years, especially with last year's Redmi Note 9 series. And yeah, while I get that the Redmi series is the budget segment of Xiaomi and the Redmi Note series is like the budget to mid-range segment, hopefully the prices don't climb up more. So as you know, again, AMOLED 120Hz display, 108 megapixel main sensor on the Xiaomi Redmi Note 10 Pro. Like, for me, those features or specs should be reserved for Xiaomi's more premium lineup of smartphones, mainly their Mi series. And that may be bad for us consumers, because if the Xiaomi Redmi Note series continues to climb up in price each year, then that means Xiaomi's flagship devices, their top-of-the-line devices with top-of-the-line specs, of course, will climb up also. Hopefully not to $1,000. And as you're aware, last year Xiaomi released the Mi 10T, basically a top-of-the-line spec smartphone for 19 to 20,000 Philippine pesos, starting at that price, which is a steal. I mean, Snapdragon 865, 120Hz display, capable of recording up to 8K, which is honestly kind of a gimmick in smartphones. I'm not sure. So the question is, will we see something like the Mi 10T again? like a super value-oriented phone that just bangs your buck. And just like with what I mentioned in my full review of the Xiaomi Redmi Note 10 Pro, Xiaomi, you could have just put a 48 megapixel sensor here, just optimize the software and image processing, and it could have been a great experience, like a flagship camera experience for not a flagship price. And you could have just put a 90 hertz display here, and probably a lot of your fans, including me, would have been real happy with that and bring down the price accordingly. Since also, at least for me, Xiaomi's Redmi Note series is more for the smartphone enthusiasts on a budget, like almost a flagship experience for not a flagship price. So if prices increase each year, then that's no good for the enthusiasts on a budget again. Bank account, no good. So those are my thoughts. Do you guys agree or disagree with me on that one? Of course, leave your feedback in the comments. Of course, I still do love the Xiaomi Redmi Note 10 Pro. Again, I called it a mid-range masterpiece in my review of this. And to Xiaomi, please don't become OnePlus. Yeah. And if I forgot anything, then I'll just leave it in the pinned comments of this video. Of course, the good stuff, use my Shopee, Lazada, or Banggood affiliate link if you're buying anything from them. It helps me out a lot. Like my Facebook page and watch me on my Shopee lives where I talk about pretty much anything and help people out. And of course, Paroletas where you can win cash prizes. As always, stay safe mga kuya. Thanks for watching and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.